So today we have another one of these tutorial talks.
Colin.
So we're also gonna start today with my favorite, my main boy,
Shang-a-lang-a ding-dong.
Shang-Tsung. I love it when he says that. So my variation that I think I really love is this ground eruption shake, and we're gonna get into it today just a little bit more. Okay, so this variation really has some of the best ones in my opinion. Ground eruption and shake. Obviously, ground eruption is this one. It's a little different because yeah, ground eruption starts right there. But if I was this distance, I would obviously press ground eruption forward because that ground eruption covers so much more. And if he was in my mouth, it would ground eruption back, right? So I really like this because yes, you don't get damage. This Shang Tsung is not for damage. This Shang Tsung is for a juggle. And look how much distance and what I could do in that time. When you talk about distance, I could go up, I could have stayed back, it didn't matter. But what I usually do is after you land ground eruption, you want a 3, and then after the 3, a ground eruption. Because if they're like around this distance and you hit them with ground eruption, it's no problem to go in for a 3, which is into another ground eruption, or a forward fireball, depending on what you want. I usually like ground eruption because if you look at all the distance I have, you basically full screen, and against people like Colin, easy. You just want to keep them distance. Shang Tsung is a zoner. So we'll also talk about how when it comes to ground eruption, sometimes you want a soul steal because that's Shang Tsung's thing. He's always a soul steal. So if you decide like I know how to play Colin, I really want him. Instead of doing 3 ground eruption, what you'll do is 4 soul because that looks like it won't connect. It absolutely looks like it won't. But no matter what you do, it's going to connect. Every time. And I think you get a little bit more damage off for, and you can obviously enhance it, but it does cost 2 bars a meter to do that if you're going to enhance it. But that's usually the game plan when it comes to like ground eruption. You just kind of keep it as far away as possible. Your juggles don't mean anything. You won't get anything, because if I hit you with far ground eruption and I can't dash in, I dash into ground eruption. Why? Because it just finishes the combo and puts you more full screen. So that's kind of the Shang Tsung plan. Also with Shake is, this gets rid of the other variation, or the first variation where he enhances the fireball. That one is useless. You're never going to get that crushing blow. That 1, 2, 3 fireball, dumb. So what you want to do is you want Shake. That's not what's gonna happen off the first one. Off the first shake, you get a regular one, right? And that makes it so that no matter whose turn it is, Shang Tsung is always gonna be able to control what the opponent is doing. I don't want you to zone. I'm the only one allowed to zone. Oh, thank you. Now it's time to ground it. Oh, you want to try to projectile? No, it's still my turn. So that's really what you want to go for. It's this one is my favorite because I don't have to do anything. I could sit here all day, you can't projectile me back, and we'll just do ground eruption until the day ends, right? But so here's how you're gonna really like go into it. What your main string will be is Colin's favorite string to go against is this one. That string is beautiful. This forward 2 covers so much distance that even if like I step back and he tries to throw an attack, I would counter him with that easy. It would be 1, and then the crushing blow is obviously not that one. The crushing blow is this one. Nice, good 30% for nothing. But what you really want to do is you want to just do this one. This one makes it so that only certain moves can beat you at this range. Usually Shang Tsung has advantage, so what I like to do is do the down, because a lot of people's moves start off as highs because Mortal Kombat loves highs. So after this string, right? After this, what you want to do is immediately down to up, right? Because that's a good juggle, and that easily converts into ground eruption. What you can also do, depending on the character you're playing against, you can throw out the high. The high will beat him. So what you do, it's your most damaging combo is this one. That's your starter. That's the most damaging combo. That one right there, that's, well, not end in fireball, you can end in ground eruption. But that's the most damaging one that he'll have. So that into 3 up 2 because it's the low. A lot of people aren't ready for the high-low. Very few people know that, like, the high-low mix-up. So when you doing it, you obviously can just go, if he blocks the high-low, he'll do like high, low, ground rush, right? If you do that off your like instinct, look how much distance there is. Kodokan can close the distance because he has that forward 2 move, but even then, you know he'll close the distance. You're not afraid of it. Like, you know it's coming out. And sometimes what happens that after he blocks the high-low, after he blocks high-low and gets hit with ground rush, I can beat him off of that. I can, if I throw out my down 1 instead of my back 3, because back 3 leads you into this stance, I can beat him off that. I can easily go this into ground eruption and beat him off of that. That's a very good combo. So what you want to do is after that string that I just did, this whole blocking string, so he'll block the forward 2, right? When he blocks forward 2, you have 2 options here. You have 1, 2, or even if you really wanted to and you know he's coming in for something, jump. Why? Because let's say you do that, jump, you have your jumping 1 into combo, you have your jumping 4 because you put him down on the ground and he's back at distance. So now we're right back at Shang Tsung's distance. Now it's fun. Now it's time to Shang Tsung to really zone. On top of that, we have his second most damaging one. This mix up right here, high, low, low. Here's where the fun begins. High, low, corpse drop. Nothing special. No corpse drop close. No corpse drop far. No corpse drop full screen. No. Just high, low, corpse drop. What that does is that's the overhead. Because they're ready for the high, low, low. Train them with the high, low, low. Then eventually goes high, low, the overhead. If you have the other variation where it explodes, it's fantastic. If not, I actually like this one better because if we enhance corpse drop, it turns into a low. So usually you can go high, low, keeping them at that distance. Because if he blocks the low, right, he has to be ready to block it every time. So he has to be ready for the high, low, and then he has to be ready for that overhead. So if he blocks everything, it's going to go high, low, overhead into the enhance. See? I put it behind him, which means that he thought he was safe. I enhanced it. He got blown up, and now we're back to spacing. Enhancing corpse drop keeps them on their toes where they really have to be ready for it. It's so annoying. Other than that, you have your very easy juggle. Your very easy juggle is fantastic. You do 1, 1, 3 juggle. You also have what is a little bit slower. Do you see how that's 9 frames and this is 8 frames? Your 2-1 is 1 frame slower than your 1-1. However, what you get from 2-1 is close corpse drop. It's confirmed. If I do 1, 1, 3, nothing. If you really wanted to do 1, 1, 3 into corpse drop into enhance to make sure he doesn't do anything, but a wake up attack would beat that. So what you really want to do in this, my favorite variation at least, is I'm 1, 1, 3, and I'm just juggling. My whole job is to juggle you and put you away from me. If I want to keep you close, I fireball. If I want to keep you far away, it's that, it's this, it's nothing special. That's all that is. We're just keeping you away. And with Shake, there's nothing I have to worry about because I know for a fact you can't zone me back. And very few projectiles are able to do anything. Also, right after the Shake, what you do, you really read them, you do the enhance. The enhance actually is able to give you your second crushing blow. So that's also a really good thing about this variation. So what you really want, my favorite thing to do is just to keep the pressure, right? Now, a lot of people you play are going to down poke after the second hit. So the full string looks like this. And so he's going to try to flawless block or down poke it, right? So if I do the normal string, and then he can try to poke after the kick, it's a little tough. You see, he tried to flawless block it and miss it. But it's very common and a lot of people can do it. So what you want to do is after that, ground rush. Why? Because they let go to flawless block. If you see you're getting flawless block the first time, that person knows that they can do it. So what you're going to do is after that, see that gap, he can break out of it. So what you want to do is ground eruption. Why ground eruption? Because ground eruption, they're not ready for it. They think they're going to flawless block. You enhance it, and now we're back here. So it's really good to do that. Also, instead of just doing the 1-2, you can also go, if he blocks it, he'll do a block for 1, 2, and you'll wait, because you notice them, they'll try to poke, they'll try to do something. After that, you just look at them, and whatever they do after, if it's a forward advancing move, block. If it's a poke, then you know it's easy, because 1-1 right after, or even 2-1, up to you. What a lot of people do is they like to flawless block it now. They like to down poke out of it. So that's kind of your game plan. Also, this crushing blow. Shang Tsung's overhead crushing blow. You don't have to move anymore. They actually come to you. So what you do after that is just 3, 1, 2, 3, the soul steal, or just up to you how you want to end that. But what you should do, 1 and let it rock. They know it's coming. They know the overhead is coming immediately after this. So what you do is this, they'll wait for it, free grab. Or this, and even though this is mid, I believe. So what you can do is even you can go 1 and then do a little low. You can go 1, back up, see what if they down poke, go into this, go into crushing blow. You know, you could do this a little bit because the string that comes here is 1-1. They know after 1-1 it's nothing. So, you know, you can't get anything off of this. Yeah, there's nothing you can get off of that. So then you just do 1, you know, do some 1-1s, keep them in like a little stagger pressure. And that's how you really get them. What also about this variation, Shang Tsung in general, is amazing frame trap. This one right here is fantastic. So his 1-1-2, that's a frame trap. There's almost nothing they could do, very little moves that could stop that frame trap. So after the frame trap, after the frame trap, we're you know they're advancing in, close ground rush. You know they're coming in, so 1-1-2, they're coming in, down poke, they don't know about it. It's really simple, really easy, high damage combo. It's amazing, it's easy, no problem. So I've been using this variation a lot. This variation I really enjoy. This one has, if you look at the variations, this one actually doesn't have a juggle. Ermac's the juggle, ground eruption's the juggle. I did not use either of those. And what you get is your regular ground eruption. 1, 2, right? This is the regular move, the input that you do if you don't have any juggles. You get 2 fireballs that are mids. If you enhance it, you get 1, 2, 3. So enhance puts them full screen 24/7. What I really like about this move, it's a love-hate relationship. The fireball comes from behind you, right? So if he jumps in, the fireball will catch him every time, right? So if he jumps in, the fireball will catch him every time. It's a beautiful thing for like Johnny Cage characters that like Katana, that really just want to jump over your head. It's an amazing move. So what you really, and this variation also has shake and slide. Why did I put slide in? Slide right there. That one right there is an easy mix-up because they want the overhead. You do this enough times, they'll start blocking low. You get the free crushing blow. The combo strings on this one are a little different. If you noticed, I also put in the explosive corpse. This is the one that I was talking about, where if you do this, the corpse drop, the regular corpse drop, will roll them up in the air. This Shang Tsung is meant for damage and mix-ups. So what you get off of that right there, this one right here, right? That overhead, that does 88 on hit. So a full combo is, if you get them, it would be 1, 2, corpse drop, right? And after the explosion, what you want to do is 4 into slide, right? 4 into slide is really good. You might mess up the input and just do back 4. It doesn't matter. If you're not comfortable, just do 1 slide. That one works as well, because as long as you do this, you should be fine. Yeah, 1-1s work. You can also do slide works as well. Now here's what you really love doing. Right here, it's a 4 slide. When you get it down, 4 slide actually is enough distance for crushing blow. So what you do is this into 4 slide, and it's actually enough distance to crushing blow. It might be a little finicky because the distance is full for this slide, but overall you will get this a lot more. This is definitely the one for free 50%. Shang Tsung never does that damage. Also, what you want to do is, you know, obviously shakes puts you away. The punish now for missing hits is no longer 1-1-3, because if you see me do 1-1-3, it doesn't even really combo into fireball. You just get one of them. The punish now is the 2-1 that we talked about. 2-1 confirms the close corpse drop. You do 2, 1, into that if you don't want to use your, switch sides. And that's pretty much your B&B. This one takes very long. You dash into this, or you can even do 2, 1 to the close corpse drop. Very simple, very easy, lots of damage. The one thing that you're gonna have to worry about, and this is why I'm always hesitant, this corpse drop. If he just blocks it normally, and he just stays blocking it, he just beats me. Because yeah, it's an amazing overhead. So watch, block this, and he'll turns into a mid. You lose that low mix-up to gain the mid. And here's why it sucks, because let's say you do this against a Kotal Khan, right? Let's say I'm up here, and I do the corpse drop, the 2, 1, and I gets the corpse drop, right? Punish, right? If I do it again, corpse drop, and I can get the juggle, but if he knows that I can just enhance it to get my turns into a mid, I get full blown up for this. Look how easy, that's it, and now I'm in the loop. Now I have to sit here and play games, and hopefully not get hit. So what you want to do a lot of the time to fight stuff like that is you don't always want to go in for the enhance. Sometimes you want to do like 1-1 and end your combo string with this. Right here, this is not the best way to end your combo string, but at least if you hit it, full damage. If he blocks low the whole time, and like gets hit with all 3 of them, look how much damage. I'm not negative, I just didn't block. There was no counter. There's no punish. He doesn't really get anything. It resets neutral. And Enhance will do that for you, but for the low, he would just go 1, 2, and I think I'm fine. I think I'm perfectly fine off of that, depending on the character. The majority of the characters can't punish that. Even for the low mix-up, you want to go 1, 2, spreading to the list, that's perfectly fine. Just be aware that he can hit me out of my sweep. If I go down and then up, he can hit me out of that. So we'll try one more time. We'll go down. Yeah, down. Up. It's over. That's it. Full-blown punish on most characters actually, and then down poke to get rid of it. So what you want to do is just keep it low. Keep it low a couple times. Let him really think the overhead's not coming, and then you can throw the overhead, or even this is the fireball, so it's really safe. Because I got pushed away, so now I'm really, really safe. I've been using this variation a lot, and I enjoy it. As long you can even do the same. I'm holding you off, and it's not even a big deal, because let's say you get hit, right? If he stops blocking, I actually bait the whiff punish. I get this combo, right? And depending on the move you have, you can do back forward circle for the shoulder. Depending on the height, you can even do this with fireball. That's what I've been usually doing, because there's no reason to switch sides to the corner. I think it's a waste. You don't get anything off of that. You can even do back 1-1 at the end, I believe, if you take off one of the 1-1s. So it's a pretty good variation overall. Obviously, zoning is still, great with him. You just keep knocking these overheads until they get mad, because this is his best tool right here. They have to block high, because eventually when they keep blocking high, we get them with the low. It's fantastic. I think Shang Tsung is a great all-around. Even stronger with this one if you want to switch it up from your generic fireball, but this isn't too bad. So this variation has ninjas. You obviously want ninjas, every ninja except for, I believe it's Rain. Rain is the only ninja you don't want in this variation. In this variation, I do have all of them because that's the Shapeshifter's training. But you actually get more damage. Just Ermac, Smoke, and Rain, I believe, or Ermac, Smoke, and your Reptile. I do not remember off the top of my head which one, but I do know that because you get rid of one of them, you actually end up doing more damage. So with Ermac, you have to remember that it's 1-1-3 and very nice, very easy. Also do 1 Ermac. We do catch this Ermac. Very nice, very easy. Because you don't even have to finish this. You can let it rock and let them think what's coming next, and then play off of that. Ermac is easy. You get a free. Well, that doesn't get blocked low, but you get a free hit after that. What you really want to do, I believe it's, I don't think it's rain. I believe it's 1-1 into slide, or 1-1 into even ending it with Ermac again. So in case they're in a great position, end it really quick, put them in the same. Also, you still have your smoke, you still have your reptile mix up. I know what a lot of people like to do with rain is that when we block, we do this. And then off of rain, yes, super kick. But I believe rain has his special, right? He could just special cancel this. So what a lot of people is one rain special cancel into either a low sweep or the high low. Because when you're getting hit with, if he's on a block string, right? And I do like, let's say 1-1 rain to cancel, that's it. He got mixed up by the cancel because he knew another move was coming. 1-1 rain to cancel, you do something else. We can also even do, if you want to be special, and that's really if you want to be special. This string right here, if he's trying to flawless block it, right, you can do 1, 2 into rain, right? Special cancel, and then it's you can really get him off of that. So if he blocks low, right, and let's say he'll stop after the second hit, right, and he tries to do something, we're raining, special cancel, and we're gonna go into whatever you want. So even for this combo right here, it's 1, 2, and then he'll down, right? That's what most people are gonna do, or they'll try to flawless block. So we'll do this one, so it'll be 1, 2, and you already know he's trying to down poke, so you're already safe. Look at this. I didn't even have to block low. He was already out of the range for down 1. His quickest down 1. And after that, you can just punish that. 1, 1, 1, or 1. If you really want to switch sides, I don't know why do you give up corner control. It's pretty good, pretty solid overall. I think the only major flaw Shang Tsung has is this pressure right here. Against Jackie, against Johnny, this pressure at this range, even sometimes against Kodo, you don't really have the best tool set. When you're up here, you have a down poke Ermac to get space. You have a down poke into slide. You down poke into slide. You know, you down poke into enhanced shake so that you get that parry. Shang Tsung does not do amazing up close. If you're really trying to beat Shang Tsung, obviously his toolset is better for zoning, but if you manage to get in, especially with Kodokan's sweep, I'm really sitting here waiting for an opening to interrupt you so that I can get some distance. It's kind of tough, but it's pretty fun. Other than that, do you have any tips against fighting Shang Tsung?
Just know when to block and when you're not safe, and when he's doing his frame traps. Honestly, if you see 1-1-2, just wait and block it, because you know he's gonna come with the 4-2-3 every time. That's usually his main B&B, so you know exactly what he wants to do and what range he wants to put you at. So try to mitigate that by learning what the frame traps are and what strings he's negative on. And if you know he does have a low starter that has a lot of very little range, so you can punish that with 4-2. And full combo into any strong mid will beat out that low starter. And if you do know that he's going to do the overhead, you can obviously poke out of it. And back to neutral.
Yeah. Especially for this frame trap, this is very dangerous. He knows that it's like you get good distance if you land it, right? But if he blocks it, and you block the move that follows up, like Soul Steal, but that one, doesn't matter what it is, if he blocks it, I'm next. That's it. It's his turn. You know you can catch me. A Fireball, maybe not, but on stuff like my Soul Steal. Oh boy, what is that? Oh, is that... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did they take it out of this variation? No, is that why this variation is not good? No, I'm messing with you, but there is no way. Is that why this variation makes people cry? Is it because I don't have... It's because I don't have Soul Steal. That's why I don't use this variation. You give up Soul Steal. It's so silly. But if you do Soul Steal right after that block, I am really negative and you catch me. If I do after the frame trap, right? After the frame trap and I hit him, it'll be a quick 1-1-2 with the Ermac. I'm negative. It's over. Doesn't matter what it is. Very negative, not my favorite. All you really do is something very easy. Right? Negative. He has to tech the throw, which he never does. I'm very surprised to tech that throw. 2-1 works as well. 2-1 to 3. But you can also do 2-1 grab. Not ready because it's a 50-50. But at the end of the day, what you really want is these that helps you a lot. I don't think you're allowed to combo rain into that, are you? No, I think rain is too strong that way. But you can combo after that one. I don't use rain. Yeah, I'm sure there's something you could do. Maybe even 3. But what's the point? Because then you'd get 1 into 3, right? You're not gonna get that. Yeah, there's just no way. There's nothing you can get out of that. But Shang Tsung's amazing. I prefer the new variation that I've been studying. That one is definitely my favorite. I really love that new variation. But nothing beats the original OG. Look at you. Nothing beats the original OG ground eruption. That one is always going to be my favorite. And with the new addition of Shake, there's very little people like that will do. Because they know that you're going to down poke, with the Shake, and or even jump in if you want to be really cheeky with it. Jump in into one. If he blocks 1-1-3 because he knows that a move comes in after that, you can really mess him up. There's no way. You would never do it. Look at you. Fake 50%. Look at you. But yeah, Shang Tsung's amazing. I personally main him. This man Colin really hates it when I use Shang Tsung because he knows he's in for a bad time. And yeah, what more is there to say? Mr. Swappy is my favorite character in this game. So we'll definitely catch you guys next time with another tutorial.